and is dying and you're the only match. Stop being so dramatic and just give her the blood. I was 2 months pregnant and severely anemic. Julian, my husband, stood by with cold, indifferent eyes as his friends pinned me to the hospital gurney. Their fingers bruised my shoulders, forcing me down as the needle pierced my vein. It's just a transfusion, Scarlett, Julian whispered, steeling himself against my pleas. Our child will be okay. Anne's life is at stake. I stopped struggling. A single, hot tear slid down my cheek. The moment the needle left my arm, I didn't go back to our home. I dragged my weakened, shaking body to the obstetrics wing and had an abortion. If Julian was willing to bleed me dry for his childhood friend, he didn't deserve to be a father. He had already chosen his priority, and it wasn't me. I spent 3 days in the hospital alone, recovering from a surgery Julian didn't even know I had. He was too busy at Anne's bedside, fanning her and feeding her grapes. When I was finally discharged, I ran into them at the exit, and was draped over Julian like a porcelain doll, acting as if she were the one who had lost everything. Scarlett? Why are you still at the hospital? Julian asked, his brow furrowed as if my presence was an inconvenience. He didn't even notice I was so pale I could barely stand, and quickly took the front seat of the car. I get carsick easily since the surgery, Scarlett. You don't mind the back, right? Julian's friend squeezed me into the middle of the back seat, treating me like a stranger in my own life. Go home and cook something, Scarlett, they barked. And needs nutrients to recover from the honor of your blood. Back at the apartment, the air was stifling. Julian had turned off the AC because fragile and might catch a chill. He sat beside her, fanning her while I slaved over a hot stove in the 90-degree heat. When I finally brought out the soup, and flinched, sending the scalding liquid all over my bare legs. Watch out. Julian screamed, at me. He checked in for spots while my skin turned a violent, blistering red. Apologize, Scarlett. You've gone too far. You scared her. I looked at the man I had loved for a decade. He looked like an executioner. I'm sorry, I whispered. I wasn't sorry for the soup. I was sorry I had ever let him touch me. The final thread snapped at midnight. I found Julian at my nightstand, clutching the bank card for our baby fund, the $14,000 we'd saved for a nursery, and fainted. I need this for her private specialists, he said, his voice clipped and impatient. That's our baby's money, Julian. You can't take that. I lunged for the card. He shoved me, hard. My post-op body hit the floor, landing right on the shards of the broken soup bowl I hadn't had the strength to clean. Glass sliced into my arms and back. Enough, Scarlett, he spat, stepping over my bleeding body. Someone's life is at stake and all you care about is your petty jealousy. You are so selfish. He slammed the door, leaving me bleeding in the dark. I didn't cry. I called an ambulance, transferred my private savings to a hidden account, and called my boss. I'll take the promotion. Transfer me to the headquarters in London tomorrow. A week later, Julian finally returned, tossing a silk dress at me. And needs this hand washed for her party. Don't ruin the fabric. I didn't blink. I handed him a stack of papers. Sign these mortgage documents, Julian. The bank needs to finalize the house titles today. He didn't even look at the text. He scribbled his name with a sigh of annoyance and tossed the pen aside. There. Now get to work on that dress. He didn't know he had just signed our final divorce decree and a full waiver of all my assets. I packed my bags, left my wedding ring on the coffee table, and placed the abortion medical slip right on top of it. As I sat in the airport lounge, my phone exploded. It was a video call from Julian. His face was distorted with shock, standing in our empty living room. Scarlett? What is this paper? What do you mean the baby is gone? Where are you? Answer me. I looked at the flight board, smiled at my reflection, and hit delete contact.